rocket.
Oh my God, we're rich. You know what that means?
What does it mean?
We can go to colour.
Thank God. Get on your coach and get on down to Ballarat's Sovereign Hill.
That's right, for authentic 1850s. Totally living, breathing and working little town here in Sovereign Hill, Ballarat.
A fabulous 15 half-hour special. Yeah. Sovereign Hill is a living museum run by the Sovereign Hill Museum Association, which was opened in 1970. It's a great place to explore underground adventure mines, and the park attracts over 550,000 visitors a year. Whether you're enjoying a coach ride or just walking through the goldfields, there's always something to do here at Sovereign Hill.
Well, I wonder how the day's takings have been for some people. Hello there, how are you, Miner?
Very well. And yourself?
Very well, thanks. Now, how successful has your day been panning for gold? I imagine that's what you're doing?
I am panning for gold. It hasn't been successful so far, but we're just about to see.
So what does your day sort of incorporate? How many hours would you spend panning for gold on average?
7 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, what, 7 days a week?
6 days a week.
Yeah. Oh, of course, rest on Sunday. Very important to go to church. So what's the secret to successful panning? Is there a technique you've got here?
Technique is to be able to wash the dirt out of the pan and keep the pan or the gold in the pan at the bottom.
Oh, so you're not going to be finding the gold and then wash it down the river into somebody else's pan?
Exactly. And we're about to find out. Well, I have found some.
Oh my golly gosh.
And there it is all there. Right up the top there, all just little flakes.
That's a little flake.
Little flakes, no gold nuggets today.
So how much would that be worth?
How much that would be worth? Oh, a bit less than a pennyweight maybe.
What's this contraption?
This contraption here is called a cradle. And the idea of the cradle is we put the dirt in the top with the water, shake them from side to side, and the gold gets trapped on a series of wooden blocks below. And the gold will hopefully be there.
Okay, I'll shake. I'm a mover. Yep, ready? Good old hard day. God, I can't be bothered. Yeah, whatever. Shake.
Wash the gold to the bottom. Washing it around.
Here's one I prepared earlier. Here you go. Some there.
Found two little specks. One over here.
Yeah, one up there. Saw them.
They're the only ones we got out of that.
It's that easy, you know? It looks like a bowl of soup. I want more. More gold. I'll take those home. I'll have those two. You can get the next couple. How about that?
Is that your 40%?
No, that's actually, you need to work harder than that.
Have you been successful down here with your panning for gold?
No.
None at all. So what do you reckon? You're going to give it another shot, another couple of hours, then maybe head off?
I don't think so.
So what made you come down to Sovereign Hill today?
To have a look.
Yeah?
Well, to see more about the Sovereign Hill, Ballarat, things like that, yeah.
Cheers! How dare you! I'm a fine, respectable, upstanding woman, beloved of all who know me. And I'm not stand to be insulted by one such as you.
Quite right, madam. I'm respectable and upstanding. I ain't seen you all over the diggings with that hoochie-coochie dance that you perform on the stage. You're nothing but a strumpet. Ha! That's it, madam. A strump! I'll give you some of your own one. Take it away. Away with you, you blatherskite. Go on. Away with you. Look out. Get out of the way.
You little coward! You can leave me to fight my own battle.
Ah, very well then.
Be warned! All of you who dare oppose me. I, Lola Montez, Countess of Lansfield, am triumphant. And tonight, I will perform the spider dance.
Well done, Miss Lip. Tonight in my theatre, Miss Lola Montez performs the spider dance. Plenty of good seats available upstairs and down. Ticket prices are really high.
And Jill is a costumier here at Sovereign Hill who is responsible for recreating these fantastic fashions. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what the people were wearing in the 1850s?
Certainly. Well, what you're wearing is what a wealthy lady in the 1850s would have worn. Okay, you've got a really nice satin gown, okay, and a beautiful cape to match. And underneath your gown is a hoop. Do you want to just lift it up and show them? or as it was called, a crinoline, which is the French word, but not jeans. Yeah. The crinolines in the 1850s had steel hoops inside them, and over a period of the 10 years that we depict, towards the end of that 10-year period, they got bigger and bigger and bigger, and your status was known by how large your crinoline was. So therefore, if you had a really large crinoline, you were a very wealthy lady. Hence, a lot of the miners' wives and the poorer people on the diggings did not have crinolines. They would just have petticoats underneath their dresses.
About the guys' fashion, how fast and did that change? I mean, the hats. Give us a bit of history about that one.
Okay, well, again, depending on your status, depended on what sort of hat you would wear. If you was a gentleman, most of the time you would wear a nice silk top hat. You're not a gentleman, you're a miner. And so again, depending on how much luck you had on the diggings, depended on how well you were dressed. The miners would wear a miner's shirt, as you are wearing, which had the drop shoulder and the very baggy sleeves and the pin tucks along the shoulders.
Let's just see what people used to eat and buy in the 1850s. What a fantastic store. There's all manner of things in here. We've got the quince jelly here. We've got some delectable items here. Some caramel fudge, chocolate mint fudge, white chocolate fudge, something for everything there. How are you? I'm just wondering what people would tend to purchase in a grocery store in the 1850s in Ballarat in Sovereign Hill.
Well, they would have gone for their fruit and vegetables, flour, coffee and tea. What else? Their cooking utensils, our wooden spoons, dried fruits, jams and chutneys.
I love my coffee now, and I certainly would have loved my coffee then, but grinding the coffee was a bit more of an ordeal, not exactly like we've got now. What exactly is this contraption?
This is our coffee grinder. Okay, the coffee will go in the top. Okay.
It's huge.
To turn this wheel.
No work for a lady. And Bob's your uncle.
Life as a blacksmith in this shop here. What we do is we make up the implements you see around us here, put them on general display and for sale to the public. Most of the work is done on this here forge. Everything is heated and bent to shape and made up into the sellable items. Everything's got to be done by hand. There's no machinery or nothing like that to assist. So everything's pretty hard going, yeah.
Well, blacksmiths is certainly no place for a dainty little lady like myself with lovely white gloves. And I tell you what, it's been here 3 seconds, everybody, and what a mess. What is this?
Made you some earrings.
Oh, fantastic. I thought they were actually...
They're for good luck.
Oh, are they? And they're not...
Good.
Jewellery, there you go. That money's been well spent, I think, that money, that gold nugget.
Oh, this is a baker's delight, I'd say. We've got gingerbread man, jam tarts, monkey faces, miners biscuits. What are in those?
They're like a modern day Anzac biscuit. Oats, golden syrup, coconut, butter, sugar, basically.
And what was the most popular sort of selling thing in a bakery?
Probably the bread. Most people came in for their staple bread each day if they didn't make it at home. We usually sell more pies and biscuits than bread here because people come up for lunch rather than...
Okay, I've got a big nugget in my pocket and I want a Branbury tart, but I can see they're not there.
Yeah, they're very popular. We've sold out today. They're a 16th century recipe and they've got black currants, jam and spices in them.
So how hard was it to work in a bakery of those days?
Probably a lot harder than it is now because probably the women back then would have been wearing corsets and that kind of thing.
I'll have a vanilla slice, an apple pastry. Getting all very hungry.
I'd recommend going to the bakery.
Yes, I would. The pies are very nice.
Pie with sauce, what an Aussie classic. Now, you've also been to the Greengraces and you've purchased yourself some jam or something down there. What exactly was that?
Actually, that's your purchase, isn't it?
They're lollies.
Ah, from Brown's Confectionery.
Oh, they're delicious too.
Yes, here we go. We've got some boiled lollies. They're for the little kids.
I have the biggest sweet tooth. Oh, acid drop. What's one of those? What are they?
It's a lemon type of flavour. That one, they're sort of very tangy. Yeah.
Okay. What's the most favourite lolly?
The raspberry drops here. It's they're similar to the acid, but they've got the sort of stronger sort of raspberry flavour and different things like that. And also, I'd say the mixed boiled as well with all the different flavours in together.
And how many lollies does a lolly shop have?
Oh, we have thousands and thousands here. We get them brought down from the factory, which makes them here, and then here we bag them and jar them, and then we sell them to the public and things like that.
What did you expect to find at Sovereign Hill?
I know it's like walking back in history, going back to see what it was like back in the 1800s.
Well, they say it's a living township.
Yep, it's very realistic. It's great.
Oh, that hurt. And how are you enjoying today?
Had a great day today, really top day.
Is it your first time here?
Oh, I came here about 13 years ago.
13 years ago, so it's a little bit of a flashback from the past.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Have things changed much?
No, not really.
Not really, for some bizarre reason. And what have you learnt today?
I went to I think the highlight was going to the national school and seeing they were using the same pen nibs and pens and bottles and so forth in 1850 as they were in 1970.
Fantastic.
That's right. Yeah.
And have you gone to the new mine?
Yes, we went for a tour of the new mine. Yeah.
And how was that?
It was pretty interesting, I'll tell you what. They lived through some hard times.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
Madam Parmis will predict
That we'll be back after the break for another fabulous 15 minutes.
She also predicts it won't be raining after the break.
Oh, I hope she's right.
Yeah. Oh, God. Welcome back to the second half of 15 Fabulous Minutes. You're joined here by Steve Williams and Jacqueline Sheilds. We're here in the heart of Ballarat, Sovereign Hill, just getting our photos done, looking glamorous as ever. Sovereign Hill has lots of attractions. They have daily performances reenacting some of the events of the time. Sovereign Hill is a step back into the gold diggers' time in Australia during the 1850s. So sit back and relax and watch the second half of 15 Fabulous Minutes.
Extra weeks when they're dealing with a hand-to-hand situation. However, if I was faced...
For a hard-earned dig, you need a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Carlton.
Well, sorry, mate, back in those days we didn't have that, so you're going to have to...
What? What did you drink in those days? Whiskey? Whiskey, then. Can I have it sour with a twist of lemon?
Okay,
Yes, I have a letter that I'd like to send over to London, Postmaster's Mistress, and I'm just wondering how long it would take.
Okay, it's quite quick these days.
Yes?
6 months.
6 months? That's ridiculous. That's urgent news.
Well, it used to take longer, Mum, and if there's rougher seas and things like that.
So it goes by boat?
It does definitely go by ship.
Oh, okay. Well, if it had to take 6 months, let's take 6 months. Fantastic.
Well, here at Sovereign Hill, you also get the entertainment of the Victoria Theatre, where you get to see some shows and a lot of entertainment. There's always something to do here. Sit back and enjoy.
I'm joined by a gentleman. Hello, and how are you, Graham?
Graham, very well, ma'am.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
You're from a...
lovely.
Why, thank you. Now, we're here in the gorgeous theatre at Sovereign Hill.
Yes, and this theatre is a reproduction of the 1851's theatres. It's very authentic in the sense that it's right down to the last piece of furniture.
And what sort of shows can we expect to see in the 1850s in the theatre?
Well, one of the normal shows we're doing at the moment is Lola Montez, who I think history tells is quite a name In what would you
Famous
say?
for what?
Famous for all sorts of interesting things. Well liked by the boys in the town.
Ah, okay, quite a crowd pleaser.
Quite a singer as well, yes.
I'm losing it. There you go.
Ever wondered what happens when the lights go out? You ask for candles, and Darren here is going to show us how to make a candle. What is this here? Cotton.
Wick, made from cotton. Basically with that, the thicker it is, the better. If it's very thin, your candle burns a lot quicker and it's more likely to drip. The thicker it is, the opposite. It's going to burn for a lot longer and shouldn't drip at all.
So you're a bit thick?
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Don't get short-wicked with me. Okay, you chuck it on there, and this is all wax in here.
That's right.
How?
Paraffin wax.
Why is that paraffin wax?
Well, earlier on, back in the 1850s, it would have mainly been tallow, being animal fat. These days, paraffin wax. It's actually from brown coal. Basically, it's just a better wax all round.
How hot is that in there?
Around about 70 degrees.
Really? I'd burn my finger if I stuck it in there.
No, it's not too bad. You can put your finger in there.
Dip it in?
Okay, so what we do is simply dip it straight down into the wax. What we normally do is hold it down there for about 5 or 6 seconds.
So the wax sticks to it, and then you're up again.
And then lift it straight back up.
That's a really thin candle. How many dips do you need per candle?
Between 15 to 20.
Can you go more?
Well, you can, depending on, you can vary the size.
How long does the candle last for?
Well, a 10-inch candle should usually burn for about 10 hours. It's actually how they tell the time in the mines.
Oh, an inch an hour. There you go. What happens if you've got a short candle?
You're not going to work so long.
I'll work on the short candle scheme.
If you let your mind go, it takes you back to what was happening then and gives you some indication of what the miners went through and how they were provoked, and then just shows you what happened when the product hit the fan.
Some good old Aussie history.
Good Aussie history, very good. Well worth. It's something that, I don't know, everyone should go and have a look at, and okay, you may or may not agree with the Eureka, but it is a big piece of Australian history.
Park is a new mine, so that's something to check out, something new, and this one's got the big nugget in it.
This is where the Welcome Nugget was discovered in 1858. We have 3 different types of mining depicted here in Sovereign Hill. Across the creek line over there is alluvial mining, where they dug shallow shafts, and over the back is where they quartz mining, where they brought gold-bearing quartz to the surface and crushed it in a battery. This is deep lead mining, where they tunneled down to underground riverbeds and got the gold and alluvial gold nuggets and alluvial gold from the underground riverbed. Once you get down there, it's an underground adventure. Watch out. Come right in, folks. Move right in.
I be William Tregenza, and I be leading you all to work. Now you stop with me. No wandering off now. Say you, Andrew William. Come down here with me, boy. Don't worry about foul air. We get a good draft now and then. Timbers on this shift.
One more. Give it some time. Me, a Cornishman, working in a wet, stinking deep lead.
This is the nugget that was found by Richard Jeffrey on the evening of Wednesday, the 9th of June, 1858. Jeffrey was one of the mine's 22 Cornish owners. Ballarat was once known as the Queen of the Goldfields. However, its mining yield and its proud reputation had seriously declined in the year leading up to this spectacular find. The discovery of the nugget provided welcome relief from the gold drought, so it was appropriately named the Welcome Nugget. It was found at a depth of 180 feet, almost 60 meters, and at 2,217 ounces and 16 pennyweights was at that time the world's largest mass of gold in a virgin state ever found. To this day, it remains the second largest, behind the Welcome Stranger, a mere 64 ounces heavier, and also discovered in Victoria. The Welcome Nugget was valued at £8,705 at the time. Today, it would be worth millions of dollars.
This is so fantastic, but I tell you what, ain't no place for a lady down here.
Straight through the blighters. Quick. Come on, you yourself. Hey, get away. Small nugget you've got in there. Ballarat, we're involved in something what you miners refer to as your Battle of the Eureka Stockade. Wasn't much of a battle. To the less well-educated amongst you, you take your little piggies, you bung them in your luggos till they meet in the middle. Should be easy if you lot at the front. Oh, blimey, stick your fingers in your ears, kids. It's blooming loud. Tell your parents they haven't caught on. Drummers, stand fast. Stand fast! Firing party, one place forward. March. Squad, we're prepared to fire by numbers. Port arms. These here fellas behind me are my privates, the only such thing you'll be getting a picky of on this rather chilly day. Squad, photographic purposes, fall out.
This is the face of the long arm of the law here at Sovereign Hill. 2 troopers, and how are you today, gentlemen?
Oh, not too bad. Well, thank you.
Had much trouble today?
No trouble at all. There was one family who, the father got drunk, but we sorted him out.
We certainly did.
We separated the family, sent his wife and children home, and he's locked up in a log out there.
What sort of a life is the life of a trooper in the 1850s?
It's not easy. There's some good times, there's a lot of bad times. You get spat on a lot.
Spat on?
A lot of spit.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Very rugged, very rugged. It's a harsh life. See your cameraman's trying to spit on us right now.
There'd be a few perks to the job though, wouldn't there, having the uniform and all?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, women love a man in uniform.
Much corruption in those days?
Oh, yes.
There's the usual amount of corruption. I mean, we're pretty... We like bribes, let's just say it that way.
Now, I'm just wondering, bringing us back into the present, as far as working here at Sovereign Hill goes, it gets very busy, a lot of traffic, and what sort of tourists do you get?
Oh, well, we get all sorts from all around the world. I mean, we'd have around about 350,000, 400,000 visitors a year, I'd say, approximately. And we get school groups right through to Asian tour groups and even locals at the moment.
And what's with the dog?
He comes to work with me each day. He just follows me around, and the whippet's good for catching rabbits. I don't have a wife, and he does everything for me except...
Back in the 1850s, used to play bowls, 9-pin bowling, or bag of tally over there.
It's a pretty noisy game. As you can see, the kids enjoy it very much. It was mainly an adult's game though, in the 1850s. It's not like 10-pin bowling. You've got to try to get the top pin to stay up.
The top pin,
Yeah,
which
the front
is
pin.
the red one.
Yep.
And it's not allowed to fall down.
Nah.
And the others have got to...
The idea is to get the ball rocking side to side down the middle.
Oh, so how do you make the ball cross?
Oh,
What's the best technique?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not really good at it myself, but...
Thoughts from New Zealand with visitors with us this afternoon.
So that's what's brought you back, the fact that you've got visitors, and it's one of the better places to come for some people think an Australian.
Yes. Always bringing somebody here. We've done Blood on the Southern Cross 3 times and it's absolutely fantastic.
Now that's that night show, isn't it?
Yes, don't tell me you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. You asked me to tell you that.
Right. Well, make sure you go and see it.
Smells divine. What was a chemist in those days? Hello, how are you?
Good afternoon, how are you today?
Well, not very well, actually. I'm feeling quite faint. I can hardly breathe. I don't know whether it's the tightness of my corset.
I would say that would be probably it, Mum. Yes, I think sit down and rest for a short while, and I'm quite sure you will feel much better.
Well, that's all very well and good, but I'd rather pop a bit of a pill, actually. Do you have anything I can take?
Dr. Wakefield is not here at the moment. He's down on the diggings attending a very badly injured patient. If you care to call back and see him, I'm quite sure he will be able to prescribe.
Down, and thanks very much for watching 15 fabulous minutes.
See you next time. Bye.
Guess what?
What?
Madam Palmer's predicts
That we'll be back after the break. For another 15. We'll do it again.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
Madam Palmer's predicts that...
We'll be back after the break in about... Fuck. who was responsible for recreating some of those fantastic outfits. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Now you're going to be telling us a bit about the fashions on the goldfields, and well, let's start with what the women were wearing with this crinoline. What was the whole concept?
It's a crinoline, actually.
Crinoline. Jill, how are you, Jill? Fantastic. Now, this is a crinoline. Crinoline. Right.
And underneath your gown is a hoop. Do you want to just lift it up and show them? Or, as it was called, a crinoline, which is the French word, but not jeans.
Oh, boots?
Yeah.